Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the main phase, a Magic the Gathering podcast aimed at bringing you the best content, period. Today we discuss the winner of Mythic Championship V, the banning of Field of the Dead, Oko's dominant power, and other things. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the main phase, the only Magic the Gathering podcast who is hitching our wagons to the new format. Trails West, Pioneers, yeehaw! I am Jeremy, and this is Debo.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
He wasn't expecting that whole yeehaw thing. But yeah, lots and lots and lots has happened since the last podcast.
Definitely. I mean, you said it yourself. Lots and lots and lots. So we've had Mythic Championship V.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a emergency ban.
Yes, as of the 21st of October, all predictions across the entire Magic community were correct. Field of the Dead is banned.
Yep, it is gone.
In Standard, specifically.
And in my opinion, good riddance.
Yeah, me too.
Jesus, I mean, so I'm one of those people that are all about like fewer bans the better.
Sure.
Add more things rather than take away.
No, you are. I believe it. Yes.
And I was playing on stream last night, and I'm like, when is this card gone? It's been announced to be banned. Why is it still in Arena?
That's right. Well, it is gone now, right? Out of Arena?
I'd have to double check. I don't know.
I think it is gone now. I think it's gone, or I hope it's gone for your sake. But
I'm having an artery explode. I swear.
You know, Field of the Dead, it's cool, but it really ran its course, right?
Yep.
People were abusing it with Scape Shift, and then once Scape Shift rotated out, they clearly found a way to manipulate it with Golos.
It would have been fine had they left in or brought in more hate for it.
Sure.
But they stripped out all of the hate. Because when it was with Scape Shift, there were answers to it.
Yeah, there were.
I mean, we've gone through it over and over again. We had those red enchantments, Blood Sun and Alpine Moon. Field of Ruin is another great example.
Just not there.
Yeah.
It got too powerful. It was elongating games. Even in the ban and restricted announcement, they said very clearly that paper matches were going to time far too frequently, that games could not be fit into the 50-minute timers. It is just good that it's gone, and in that very same vein, my friend, we are on to new horizons in Standard. We are going to see the absolute dominance
of Simic and or Bant Oko decks.
Oh, it will be Oko. Oko turn 3 is...
Turn 2.
Turn 2 almost required at this point in order to be competitive because everybody's doing it.
So does that mean people are going to be playing blue main board Mystical Dispute?
There's probably a pretty good chance. I like Okame Adversary out of the sideboard as well, since all these green permanents are going to be in play. There's just no doubt that the combination of Nissa Who Shakes the World and Oko is the winning duo. That is the winning duo. Nissa Who Shakes the World, far too powerful. Being able to essentially drop a mana flare for your forests is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
And then not only that, but she ticks up on one of your lands. It becomes a 3/3. You then tick up that same land. That's now a creature. With your Oko, it's now a 6/6.
That's right.
Sure, it doesn't have haste and vigilance anymore, but it's still a 6/6 every turn.
Every turn.
And that is much harder to kill.
It is.
Than a 3/3.
Yes, it is.
So,
and you still have an acceptable amount of ramp, especially in Circuitous Route. There's a lot there, right? Agent of Treachery is not going anywhere.
Nope.
Still a fantastic card, and they will find ways to abuse that. Mass Manipulation still in the format. So what the deck kind of does, especially on the Simic side, the Simic food side, is that starts playing some more of those top-end control spells where, you know, they're just stabilizing, they're blocking, they're maybe getting in some damage, blah, 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 and then they drop an unabated mass manipulation and steal your entire board, and the game's over.
Yep. We had asked a question last podcast, and that question was, is Oko too powerful?
Well, I don't know what the heck we're going to do about him.
And I mean, look, he can come down as early as turn 2, and he shuts off pretty much any creature deck.
Oko is Broco and Loco. So, no. Anyway, Oko is ridiculous because 2 of the loyalty abilities are upticks.
Yeah.
That is a problem. The uptick that turns
a creature into a 3/3
or an artifact
into a
3/3 should be a -1 ability.
Yep. Or at the very least, a 0 ability.
Or a 0, yeah. He's just too out of reach. You have to, look, you have to have in an aggro deck the proper curve, 1-2, and then something over the top to be able to really take him out if he drops turn 2. You have to. You have to have a 1-2 punch and then another thing over the top, likely Questing Beast, to be able to really get there. Red can do it.
And if not Questing Beast, also Vraska herself is a good
She's my preferred solution.
Yeah.
And we've been playing a lot of Golgari Walkers lately. What do you think of that deck?
I think it's actually really well positioned now that Field of the Dead is gone.
Me too.
So I think that deck is actually, it's extremely powerful. We played it on stream last night. Last night being Monday, and we played it on stream last night. Played it against a couple of our viewers, and it dominated them. They brought in their best decks, and their decks were really cool, but it just absolutely thrashed them.
Just so much removal and a very, very clean high-end Planeswalker package.
I mean, the majority of the deck is bombs.
It is. The majority of the deck is bombs with Questing Beast, but there's also a really clean removal package in there. You got Find Finality, you got Assassin's Trophy, Death Sprout, which helps you really get to those 6 mana cost.
I mean, I think almost every single card in that deck is a form of removal, because the Questing Beast will remove a Planeswalker.
It will.
The Vraska will remove anything 3 or less, right? Your Garruk will blow up any creature, plus draw you a card.
The Paradise Druids, you can sacrifice and destroy all creatures, artifacts, and enchantments.
True. No, but
that's a card you guys should be playing. It's amazing.
But then your Liliana has the -4 ability to have each player sacrifice 2 creatures, right?
Yeah.
So I guess aside from Paradise Druid, really almost every other card in that deck is a form of removal. I mean, it's insane.
It's a very, very strong deck.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how the meta evolves now that Field of the Dead is gone.
Well, I think Oko just takes the field. Right?
It does.
People are going to be playing Bant and Simic.
Krasis, right?
Yeah, Krasis.
Still there.
You have Krasis, you have Oko, you have Nissa, you have the Goose. All of that fits in the same package.
Tameo,
Cavalier can also fit in the package.
Green
Cavalier, absolutely.
Beautiful.
So
Risen Reef maybe makes a little bit of a return, right? Just for the mana packages.
So I wonder, when they banned Field, if they shouldn't have also done what they did in previous standard bannings, where they also banned something from the other dominant deck. Because this Bant Simic Oko was a dominant deck. It is a dominant deck. It's now the dominant deck.
Yeah.
So should they have also banned something from that?
Is it really the dominant deck when Gruul aggro in the hands of Javier Dominguez wins the Mythic Championship V?
That's the only Gruul deck to make it through. There were 4 Bant or Simic Oko lists in the top 8 in the Mythic Championship.
Correct.
I would still say that it is the dominant deck, even though it did not win the Mythic Championship.
Plus, Javier's final game there against Golos Field, well, they just couldn't have him losing to Golos Field. They couldn't have him doing that. I don't want to go, no conspiracy theories. We know it's all fair game. There's probably gaming commission stuff that goes along with that because of the prize money, but they definitely, WotC was rooting for Gruul.
Yeah.
They're rooting for it.
Now, if we look at the tournament itself, so we had 44% of the field being Field of the Dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. 44%.
But only 1 deck made it to the top 8?
I know. It's because everybody built to play against it, and the decks that were tuned to consistently beat Field of the Dead made the top 8.
So I guess then the question is, should Field of the Dead really have been banned?
Yes.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
It wouldn't have gone anywhere. It would have been around for a year or longer.
And the land decks only get better.
That's right.
Because you get more and more lands.
You get more different kinds of lands with different abilities, maybe other creatures that help you tutor. Maybe there's some amazing nerd that comes out that says, search your library for a land card and put it into play. You know?
There is that.
Oh, wait, there is. Right. It just keeps happening, and then all of a sudden Field of the Dead is pushing players out of standard forever. Mardu Knights had a really good showing.
Yeah, kind of underrepresented.
It was.
But I think against like the Golos decks, it had a 73% win rate against them.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's insane.
What about Dino Blade? Did you see that deck?
No.
That was amazing. The Rotting Regisaurs and the Ember Cleaves.
Yeah. That deck's hilarious.
That deck was the best thing I've ever seen. It was amazing, in fact.
I mean, because really, you would have enough mana by turn 4 to be able to cast the Embercleave. So you're swinging in with your Rotting Regisaur, maybe a 2-drop and then a 1-drop, and then you have the 4 mana that you need, or really even just 3 mana at that point. I think to cast the Embercleave, put it on your Rotting Regisaur. It now has double strike and trample.
Yeah, it just
absolutely hilarious.
Came through and clubbed you down. Dino Blade. You ever think that Embercleaves would be slapped on a Rotting Regisaur?
No, but I'm kind of glad it did.
Me too. Me too. What a really cool deck. It was just like,
at least until it kills me, then I won't be happy about that.
It'll happen. I mean, with the amount of MTG Arena that we play. But congratulations to Javier Dominguez for winning the Mythic Championship V, $100,000. The 2018 World Champion triumphed over a competitor pool of 63 and a half other players, that half being Seth Manfield. It's a height thing.
Now, we had kind of been teasing a little bit that maybe something should have been banned from the Oko lists. And a lot of people have been thinking that Oko himself should have been banned.
They're never going to ban their showcase card.
You're right. And you're absolutely right.
He's $65 right now. That's modern pricing. You can go out to Card Kingdom and buy a Rings of Bright Hearth in near mint condition for less money than you can get a standard playable Planeswalker.
Yeah. And he only skyrocketed in price when Field of the Dead was announced banned.
That's because they know, everybody knows. Listen, Todd Anderson from Star City Games, I think he's got a very level head about him. Okay. And in their most recent Fact or Fiction article, which I thought was pretty good, they brought in Sam Black, a couple other community contributors, and they all talked about fact or fiction. You know, are these things right? Are these things wrong? And the truth is that Oko is far too powerful. So let's get back to the question that we left off with last week. Is Oko too powerful?
Yeah.
Yes.
He really is. And if they're not going to ban him, right? But they need to then ban something else from that list. Maybe Nissa then takes the cake. Or maybe...
They can't ban Nissa, though. I mean...
But she's the next... Then it's Krasis.
You can't ban Krasis.
It's either Nissa or Krasis.
They're not going to ban anything. The standard is going to roll forward as is until the next set is dropped. I guarantee it.
Oh, well, no, I agree with you. I'm saying what they should have done versus what they will do.
Yeah.
It either, because you're not going to be in Goose. Goose is kind of like a harmless thing. Sure, it gets it out of turn faster.
You're not going to ban Goose.
But you can bolt the bird, right?
It's a bad Llanowar elf.
Yeah. So you're not going to ban Goose, but then that leaves Hydroid Krasis, Oko, or Nissa from that Simic Bant list.
Mm-hmm.
Which of those could we get rid of?
Teferi. You get rid of Teferi.
But he's not in the Simic list.
It doesn't matter. Ban him anyway.
Especially with Teferi's set coming out pretty soon.
Ban Teferi. That's how you do it. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Well, guys, Simic Food's really too powerful. It's starting to skew the meta. What recommendations would you have on how we could balance the meta? Ban Teferi! That's it. That's the contribution Jeremy would make to WotC. They'd be like, you're fired. Been a lot of that going around lately. Anyway, the Simic Food list, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I do. I think the Bant ramp list, though, specifically, it's that old shell with Nissa and Hydroid Krasis is nearly unbeatable in the meta. And when you throw Oko into that, it makes things far worse.
Yeah, I mean, so let's say you make a 4/4 Hydroid Krasis. Well, if you're not worried about the flying aspect of the Krasis, you can then plus up your Oko on him, and now he's a 7, or yeah, he's a 7/7, right? I mean, that's sure. Again, he doesn't have flying.
He keeps the counters.
He keeps the counters.
He's a 7/7 body.
So I think if people were to counteract Oko, since Oko has not been banned and nothing from that shell has been banned, probably what you need to do is either run a counterspell that you can cast in turn 1, which we only have 1 standard at the moment.
Yeah.
Or you run creatures with counters on it. Creatures that come down with +1/+1 counters.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he then turns them into 3/3s, well, they then get to keep their +1/+1 counter, and then he can't steal them.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only way you can really fight Oko. Or play cards that can put +1/+1 counters on your creatures, maybe at instant speed or something like that.
I think Vraska is a really solid answer.
Yeah, Vraska is also a good answer as well.
It's still pushing everybody into green, though.
Yep.
And it's pushing, I mean, there's very limited black removal for Planeswalkers. There's just Prison Realm in white.
Yeah.
Conclave Tribunal.
I mean, for black, I guess we do have, the new Hero's Downfall and Murderous Rider. We also have the Elder Spell.
Elder Spell gets it done.
But that's about it. Although actually,
Noxious Grasp.
Actually, we Noxious Grasp does also hit it. We do also have that one black spell that says remove 5 counters from target creature or planeswalker. It's a Liliana spell.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to start running that.
Does 5 loyalty counters kill Oko when he comes down and then pluses to 6 immediately?
No, it does kill if it pluses it to 5 immediately. But being able to maybe get him down to 1.
Yeah.
With that one spell and then swinging out through creatures to kill it.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's a great answer. I'm saying it's an answer.
I don't know. It just feels like the damage is done as soon as he hits the board. And most of the time, Oko on turn 2 is an unwinnable situation.
Yeah.
In most cases, you lose those games unless you have an immediate answer.
Yeah. And then on top of that, too, if we were to look at the direction Oko could go as well, now that Field is gone, we could also see maybe even like a Sultai Oko list.
Definitely.
That's running the beetle that says creatures your opponents control can't get counters.
Mm-hmm.
So now they run that in the sideboard. Or maybe they also run like the Elder Spell in the sideboard as well, right? Mm-hmm. You blow up your opponent's planeswalkers with the Elder Spell, make your Oko huge. Or you get down that beetle on turn 2, Oko on turn 3. Now your opponent's creatures can't come down on +1/+1 counters. You can easily deal with them. The beetle has protection from green, which you're turning the elks into green, or you're turning the creatures into green elks.
That's nice.
So there's probably a nice little synergy that you can have there as well.
For sure. Yeah, it's a great sideboard card with the beetle. And we were using that to great success before Throne of Eldraine came out.
Right, Explore.
With Explore.
Yep.
Yeah, we were doing a great job shutting down Wild Growth Walkers, Jade Light Rangers, Merfolk Branch Walkers, etc. You know, we started complaining about the whole Explore package, being happy that it was leaving, and now I kind of miss it.
With Oko in the format, yeah, I kind of miss it.
Yeah, I kind of miss it. Bring back Wild Growth Walker. Reprint Wild Growth Walker.
With none of the other Explore support.
Never, ever going to happen again. But anyway, Mythic Championship V is over, and there is a tremendous amount of new news. Like, this is really big, groundbreaking stuff. I actually wasn't brought into the loop on this till recently, but Debo, take it away.
So, we have a new format.
A new format?
A new eternal format.
What does that mean?
So eternal formats are non-rotating formats. Standard is a rotating format. We have a few years with a couple of sets in standard, and then after a couple of years, 3 or 4 of the sets drop off, and then we have more sets get added into it, right?
Okay.
So that's how standard works.
All right.
However, formats like Commander, Pauper, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, they are all eternal formats.
Okay.
They do not rotate whatsoever.
What an excellent explanation. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Pioneer.
Pioneer.
That's what you got on the screen here.
Yep.
Okay.
That is the name of the new format. It's an obvious like callback or handshake to the failed format Frontier, because who goes on the Frontier? Pioneers. Right?
Right.
That's kind of what we have here. We have Pioneer as the new eternal format. Do you think it's a good thing that they kind of reference the Frontier format?
I guess. I mean, I guess it is kind of a nod to them that well, good try. You couldn't really get it up off the ground, so we'll steal your idea and name it something else. Congratulations. But yeah, cool. It's a good nod. Frontier was originally a format. It was M15 forward. Yeah. Right.
It was M15. Well, it was the I guess it was M15.
M15 forward.
It was when the frames changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was big in the Japanese shops.
Right, because they had all this influx of cards that nobody was wanting to buy.
Right.
And so like we need to make a format to where all the stuff is relevant.
Right.
So
where you can come play this, and it really caught on over there. It gained a lot of steam.
And then it kind of petered out because WotC didn't support it.
That's right. Went away.
So we have now this new format Pioneer. It starts from Return to Ravnica.
Okay.
And on forward. So we have Return to Ravnica, Gatecrash, Dragon's Maze, the Theros block, the Khans block, Origins, and then
on and on.
On and on.
So Aetherworks, Marvel, Ulamog, right from the beginning.
Yep.
There it is.
So I guess the question is,
what else do you need?
We do already have some immediate bannings.
Let me guess. Fetch lands.
Fetch lands did
gotta
catch
be
the
the
ban.
fetch lands, yeah.
All 5 cards, all 5 fetches from the Khans block have been banned outright.
Mainly because nobody likes Jace Vern's Prodigy and Dragon Master Ojutai, or Dragon Lord Ojutai.
And I think WotC did learn the mistakes that Frontier had. And one of the mistakes Frontier had was leaving fetch lands in there and not taking them out. And that was a huge problem for that format. Yeah. So I think they saw that. they decided, okay, we're going to take it out. And that's actually, I think, good for the players overall.
Yeah, but all the buddies, the Shocks, Spire Bluff Canal, Botanical Sanctuary, all of those, there's still a tremendous amount of dual land power.
Of course.
In those sets.
I mean, you can easily run a 5-color mana base.
No question.
In this format, right?
And it includes it even includes all of the current standard stuff. Wow. Yeah. This is bonkers.
Yeah.
And this is supported by WotC and everything, huh?
They are going to be having 5 PTQs. They're already established. The dates are already set.
Pro Tour qualifiers for Pioneer already lined up.
They are going to be having other major events as well, like the First Players Tour series of 2020. One of the formats is going to be Pioneer.
Why are they doing this?
Well, so if you
don't we already kind of have Modern,
right? But if you look at when Modern was created, right? Modern was created in like what, 2011?
2011.
That's a long time. That's 8 years. That's a lot of sets.
Yeah, it's a lot of Magic cards.
And Modern, the earliest Modern set goes back to 2003.
Goes back to 9th edition, 8th edition.
Yeah,
8th or 9th edition.
Okay. I believe it was 2003. It was the earliest set, the oldest set that you can get out of Modern, right? Well, the reason why Modern was created was because the cards that were printed there weren't necessarily powerful enough for Legacy and Vintage at the time, but they still wanted a format where people could play their old cards. Well, we're kind of in that same situation with these past Standard sets when they had this big reset of Standard where they said, you know, Standard 2.0, we're not going to be having like overly complicated cards, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
They need to have a format to where people can play their old Standard cards that they've purchased, and that they have a free and open place that they can play it that doesn't rotate.
Okay.
And so this is kind of like the new Modern, because it's starting at a specific point. Modern will still be a thing. And this kind of feeds back into my conspiracy theory that they are going to end up abandoning Vintage and Legacy in the future, maybe near future.
In terms of sanctioned tournaments, you mean?
Right. So they won't be supporting it in sanctioned tournaments. Maybe a local game shop can like put on a tournament, but it won't be WotC supported. There won't be support for that format anymore. Maybe they won't even cover bannings or anything like that from that format anymore.
But then do they expand Modern even further?
I mean, they've already started, right? Modern Horizons has already been released.
Specific sets.
They've already said that they're going to be, that wasn't the only Modern Horizons that they're going to be doing. They're going to be doing others.
Right.
And the point of Modern Horizons is it's supposed to be 50-50 new cards and 50-50 old cards reprints from Legacy into Modern.
And that doesn't mean they can't tap into Vintage. Of course, right. Urza's Legacy and Urza's Block now on the reserved list means that you're likely not going to go back much further than that. Maybe they tap into a Stronghold, Tempest, Exodus, and they bring some of those cards forward, but Urza's left out of that mix. Now Urza's Legacy being on the reserve list means those are very highly collectible cards and still a little bit affordable. But Pioneer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people are kind of like apprehensive about it at the moment. Personally, I'm of the opinion that it's going to be a very popular format.
Is it available in Arena?
It is not available in Arena.
Why not? This seems like the perfect... That seems perfect. I don't understand. Yeah. Open Pioneer to Arena. Why not?
Honestly, I would have liked Pioneer over Historic.
Me too. What Historic?
All right.
I can build decks, but have you played a game of Historic on Arena?
Nope, not yet.
They said we could once a month.
Once a month.
Boy.
That really rubs us the wrong way.
It feels great.
Yeah. So good.
Well, you can do direct challenges and you can play Historic with your friends. That's not who I want to play against as my friends.
Who says I have friends?
I want the blood of innocence.
I don't have friends other than Jeremy.
I don't have friends either, other than myself.
Arena would have been a really good avenue for this. They would have given them a set amount of sets to then program back into Standard.
They could have done it.
I think that they could have hired a lot of contract work to be able to get that stuff put in there within a reasonable amount of time.
Agreed.
And then it would have been an amazing Arena format that they could have had. Even if it's like weekly events, sure. Like that, I think that's still better than leaving it out.
Let's talk about the fact that there are a lot of broken decks and really super dominant decks that have been in Standard,
of course,
since Return to Ravnica. Yep. Okay, like there's been a lot of broken decks,
and a lot of them were abused by Frontier as well. So you could take a lot of the Frontier lists, tweak them just a little bit because of the fetch land discrepancy there, and have very powerful decks that are already established from that format that are now in this new format. Plus, like you said, you could just take these degenerate decks that were already like Teamer Energy.
Oh, yeah.
People could just take Teamer Energy and then
I mean, Aetherworks Marvel, Debo.
Dude, imagine Teamer Energy.
The Eldrazi back.
Yeah. Imagine Teamer Energy with Once Upon a Time.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
So, like,
Rogue Refiner back with a vengeance. Oh my God. Rogue Refiner and Oko.
Yeah. and also keep in mind, Rogue Refiner was banned. Mm-hmm. It is no longer banned in this format.
Right. Neither is Felidar Sovereign or
Sahili or anything like that.
Not Felidar Sovereign. It was
no, Felidar Sovereign.
Was that it? Oh, okay.
Emrakul is not banned.
Liliana the Last Hope from Eldritch Moon was never banned, but it's back with a vengeance.
Back with a vengeance. Deathrite Shaman, which has been banned in multiple formats.
Collective Brutality.
Deathrite Shaman.
Gideon, ally of Zendikar.
Deathrite Shaman.
Deathrite Shaman.
Marvel.
So Deathrite Shaman is
the 1 mana planeswalker.
It is without question one of the better cards ever printed. No question about it.
3 abilities, 1 mana, hybrid mana.
Oh yeah.
1/2.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Like the best card ever printed. I can't wait to turn that into a 3/3 elk. Let that be a lesson to you. Let that be a lesson to you, Deathrite Shaman. Oko.
We'll turn you into a 3/3. Nobody will care.
That's a tippity-tappity of my little Sharpie fingernails. Yeah, so.
But yeah, Aetherworks Marvel is legal in the format. Ulamog is legal in the format.
Mardu Vehicles, bro?
Yeah.
Mono Red Hazaret?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I remember.
Ramanop Ruins is unbanned.
Although we do also have the removal for it, though.
Remember? I know.
The black removal. I keep forgetting the name of it, but the Grass from Darkness.
Yeah.
That rotated, which made Hazaret unbearable.
I know.
And now it's back. So.
Wow, dude. Languish is back in that format. Languish.
Jace is back.
Yuck.
I mean, there's just so much. Oh, dude. Crackling Doom.
Siege Rhino.
Siege Rhino?
Siege Rhino.
Crackling Doom takes care of Hazaret.
It sure does.
They have to sacrifice it.
Crackling Doom is like one of my favorite spells of all time. Take that, swine. It is a great format from what I'm looking at here. Just seeing all these sets from recent, right? Like, we loved this, man. We've been playing a lot of active Magic through these sets, you know? Oh, dude, we've got Izzet Artifacts and Shrapnel Blast and Scuttling Doom engine and all of that really horrible Ghost Fireblade deck that kills on turn 2 right back in the format.
Not to mention we still have the Tezzeret's Touch as well, which does the same thing as the animated artifact.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got a lot. Plus Mirror Maid is in the format as well.
But what you're telling me is we can't play it on Arena.
Yeah, it's on MTGO and on paper.
So that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
For us who are primarily right now Arena players.
No, not primarily. We're not investing in MTGO.
Right. No,
we're not opening Debo. Come on, man.
Well, I'm saying we also play paper, right? But
I mean, we play paper, sure. Maybe we can go to some Pioneer. That would be fun. I'd go do that with you.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But yeah, we're not investing in MTGO. We just feel like it's a dying program. So I feel like it's going to be gone within the next few years. So I don't want to invest in something that's going to be gone.
It's not going to be gone. They're going to move it into the graphical upgrade.
You're right.
And then they're going to say, see, you should have been playing it all the time.
Yep.
You should have been doing it the entire time.
You shouldn't have been using MTG Arena.
Arena was just a test.
It was a stepping stone.
It was a stepping stone. You're all stepping stones. That's it. That's it. So cool. All right. So Pioneer, again, congratulations to Javier Dominguez. Kind of a short cast today, I guess. Kind of what it feels like.
I guess one of the other things we can talk about is there was one other banning banned.
Was there?
Yeah, it was Akram's Astroblade from Pauper.
But didn't it need it?
So
I mean, didn't it need it? Arkham's Astrolabe?
Astrolabe, yeah. It's a good card, and there's no downside to playing it. The problem,
there's no downside to playing it, dude. It's all over Modern.
Yeah, you cast it for a single snow mana.
I know.
And snow lands tap for just normal color mana.
Yeah.
Right? So there's no reason why you can't play snow lands over anything else.
Exactly.
So in Pauper, they'll play, a snow-covered plains, get this down turn 1, draw a card, next turn play maybe another snow-covered plains or a snow-covered island, and then cast a core Skyfisher to then pick up the Astrolabe, and then you have a 2/3 flyer. right, on turn 2. And then the card draw engine is already started, where now you're going to play that next turn to draw another card.
Yeah.
So I can see why they'd want to ban it there. And then also just introducing things like run away together and things like that just really seem to, I can maybe see why they'd want to ban it. I'm of the opinion of for this card, maybe not ban it, but
restrict it.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the days of restricting a card?
Yeah.
Now it is either yes or no. It is not a, well, you may see it. You may see your one copy out of your 60. Go ahead. Sure. If you find it, oh, good for you.
But I mean, we also have just more powerful things too, like Ponder and Brainstorm.
Yeah.
And Serum Visions and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right?
And the only deck color you should be playing in Pauper is blue anyway.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they did take out finally Gush, which I think needed it. They did take out Daze.
That was a while ago, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they did take out a lot of powerful card draw that was in that format, and also a good counterspell that was in that format. But did this one need to be banned? I'm not hurt that it's banned, but I also don't necessarily think it needed to be banned. But I know a lot of people were playing it, and that's probably the reason why they banned it. It was because of the lack of deck diversity.
Yeah, I think that it ends up, cards like that end up permeating everything, and you start to see an uptick because people don't want to move away from those synergistic elements because you get outclassed when you move away from those synergistic elements. It's just like the recent banning of Field of the Dead. In some ways, if you are not playing it on MTG Arena, you're not winning games.
Right.
Astrolabe catches the ban. I'm okay with it.
And again, I'm not hurt by it.
I don't play Pauper.
But I don't necessarily know if it needed to be banned, but
I would play Pauper, but I have a difficult enough time finding enough time for just standard. So, and right now, and also as a side note, if you do tune into the stream, www.twitch.tv/LandSago, the next time that we load our decks section on MTG Arena, just listen to the crazy noise that the game makes as it goes to load all of those decks.
It's insane.
It literally lasts like 8 seconds. It just keeps going. So remind us if you do see us on stream to clip some of those. Any final thoughts on Astrolabe?
I think it's still going to be a very powerful card in Modern. And I think one of the, and also something like Commander as well.
Urza specifically.
Yeah, especially Urza in Modern.
And Emery.
And it could even see something in Legacy as well.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing about these cards, right? So we have recently a couple cards banned from Modern Horizons. They tried something new. They did in Modern Horizons. They had Astrolabe, which became too powerful for Pauper, clearly designed for Pauper, right? And they also had another card, Hogak, which was too powerful for Modern.
Yeah, caught the axe quick.
Yeah.
They slapped his head on the block and made a turkey.
After they tried banning Bridge from Below to see if that would fix the problem.
Which, by the way, have you ever looked at a blown up version of the Hogak art?
A lot of bodies.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is
beautifully gruesome.
It is. Well, it's dark as hell, but it is beautiful. And if you just look at the card from a distance, you would never see that.
Yep.
When you really get in there and dive into that, that's an incredible piece of artwork.
Yep. So really the question then becomes, so play design was originally designed to be able to catch these issues. And now we've had recent standard bannings. We've had recent modern bannings. We now have Pauper bannings from cards that were designed for those formats.
How does Oko get by with 2 pluses on the loyalty ability and not get caught by that play design team?
I don't know.
It's a bad idea, right? It needs to be a 0 ability.
Especially with an ability as powerful as steal their creature and give them a food token.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's really, really obnoxious, actually. But anyway, let's not drum on Oko. Is he too powerful? Let's answer the question from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too powerful.
He's too powerful. And it's going to become another one of those things where the community gets into an uproar, and hopefully there's some real substantial fixes that come in the next set to address a number of the Planeswalker things. I think they have to balance out the raging power of War of the Spark and what's continued from there. There's just got to be answers. And I'm talking about printing us some creatures that eat Planeswalkers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. I wonder if the Charming Prince was meant to be the Oko hate. So like, let's say you get down Questing Beast, you swing in, and then Oko's like, okay, you're a 3/3, and then you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll Charming Prince, and then
bounce him,
flicker my Questing Beast. But then again, it comes back at the end step, and so you can't even attack with your Questing Beast. He just turned into a 3/3 again.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
I don't know, man.
Dude, I appreciate you constantly trying to solve Oko, but honestly, right now, man, it's Murderous Rider, Assassin's Trophy. Does Price of Fame destroy Planeswalkers as well? No, it's just non-legendary. Oh, it's creatures, and it costs less if it's legendary creatures.
Maybe we need to go like Questing Beast and then play those instant speed pump spells. And so we just like hit our opponent for 15 with the Questing Beast.
Questing Beast and Giant Growth and all that works great.
You've also got the one that like gets like bigger and bigger buffs for each copy in the graveyard. I forget the name of it.
I can't remember either.
But
Prodigious Growth,
something like that.
Debo Growth.
We've also got Might of the Masses still in the format.
Might of the Masses is still there. It's possible, but I don't know, man.
I mean, imagine swinging it like you have an active Garruk and you're making just a ton of 2/2s. And then you're like, okay, swinging with my Questing Beast, Might of the Masses.
Hey! Hey-o. Yeah, I do like that. Let's try it. Nothing's stopping us from trying it. So, articles should be getting back up to a regular cadence on the website. If you did enjoy that, please feel free to check back out there. There's at least going to be one submission from Debo, myself, and hopefully a surprise contributor in the near future.
Also, if you guys think that you have the chops to do an article as well, shoot us an email. Give us a sample of your writing. We'd love to hear from you. We're of the opinion that more content is better.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So if you guys are out there and you want to write about a particular thing, it doesn't have to be about standard. It could be about modern. It could be about pauper, whatever you want. But if that's preferably standard, but it can be about anything you want, really. So if you think you have a passion for some of these other formats and you have a passion for Magic and you love to write, send us an email. We'll take a look at your portfolio or your sample writing, and we'll see if we can't get you into a rotation to see if we can't get you up on the site.
www.twitch.tv/LanceGo, at LanceGo1 on Twitter. The sideboard is an open to join group. Come join us for some discussions, especially if you love Magic the Gathering like everybody else there. And then, of course, LanceGo on Facebook is another place where you could keep up with us on the regular, see when we're going live on streams, etc.
We also have a Discord server. Go to our twitch.tv LanceGo account to be able to find the link there. It is in our widgets down below. You can access that link right now to become a member of the Discord channel.
And we are always on Discord.
Always. If it's not Jeremy, it's me. So.
Everybody is always on Discord. But we appreciate you guys listening. Thank you for joining us and answering the question with us today. Is Oko too powerful?
And the answer was yes.
The answer is yes.
Absolutely.
Well, stew on that till next week, where more fun and guns. I mean, magic cards. Okay.
Peace.
Bye.